לכל אנשים ומאבקים וישעכם ישראל ומאבקים וישעכם ישראל אשריכם אשריכם אוי אשריכם ישראל לפני מי את מתעלמים את הארץ אוי לפני מי את מתעלמים את המקווה ותארץ התנאים הקדוש ברוך הוא ותארץ ישראל המקווה ותארץ התנאים הקדוש ברוך הוא ותארץ ישראל ומאבקים וישעכם
What happened? We're live. Oh.
Oh yeah, Ashaychem Yisuvai, Ashaychem Oh yeah, Ashaychem Yisuvai, Lifnei mi at mitayim betayres. Oh Lifnei mi at mitayim betayres. Amikra betayres at mayim, Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres Yisuvai. Amikra betayres at mayim, Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres Yisuvai. Lubamakira. Oh yeah, Ashaychem Yisuvai. Oh yeah, Ashaychem Yisuvai. Oh yeah, Ashaychem Yisuvai. Oh yeah, Ashaychem Yisuvai. Lifnei mi at mitayim betayres. Oh lifnei mi at mitayim betayres. Amikra betayres at mayim, Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres Yisuvai. Amikra betayres at mayim, Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres Yisuvai. Amikra betayres at mayim, Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres Yisuvai. Oy ma amikra betayres at mayim, Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres Yisuvai. Oy ma amikra betayres at mayim, Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres Yisuvai. Oy Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres Yisuvai. Umavakim yashaychem Yisuvai. Umavakim yashaychem Yisuvai. Oy yashaychem Yisuvai, yashaychem mash. Oy yashaychem Yisuvai, lifnei mi at mitayim betayres. Oy lifnei mi at mitayim betayres. Amikra betayres at mayim, Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres Yisuvai. Amikra betayres. Oy Avakadosh Baruch Hu betayres. Oy usaymon gain lo ani yemehi asaynayni amlitz toy vadayni adoynayni vad. Oy usaymon gain lo ani yemehi asaynayni amlitz toy vadayni adoynayni vad. Va'amatem koylachai Avishimai vayachai. Va'amatem koylachai Avishimai vayachai. Yishulaykim kudashi Ashrayai rovasi Chukov yaskilpi Adoynayni vayachai. Va'amatem koylachai Avishimai vayachai. Va'amatem koylachai Avishim Burechi pi aliyai Kudashim Ay meyai kolelu aliyai Adoynayni vayachai. Va'amatem koylachai Avishimai. Everybody can sit down and eat. Please enjoy.
Sitting over there. He's gonna play, right? I
Yamim Ezucho Adai Naini Bayachai Yamatem Koilechai Ramishimai Bayachai Yamatem Koilechai Ramishimai Hidash Kamo Aluchai Semba Mishnei Baruchai Ze Hamagis Mamluchai Adai Naini Bayachai Yamatem Koilechai Ramishimai Bayachai Yamatem Koilechai Ramishimai Oti Iresi Tevayo So I Sonek Yo Dilo Nishmayo Adai Naini Bayachai
Live on YouTube. That's you. I just want to put it on our Facebook first.
Bitel Kamud Zayrai Sadai Naini Bayachai Veyamatem Koilechai Avishimai Bayachai Veyamatem Koilechai Avishimai Kol Yoma Bashechayo Isakesh Loiteyo Idilo Mishmayo Adai Naini Bayachai Veyamatem Koilechai Avishimai Veyamatem Koilechai Avishimai Kol Yisrael Elohayim Esaytayu Aboye Kayrachamu Maaseh Adai Naini Bayachai V'yamatem Koilechai Avishimai Bayachai V'yamatem Koilechai Ambishimai Tzadikai Bukam Bukam Ishmayo Imanu V'yachiyo Semibnai Aliyo Adai Naini Bayachai V'yamatem Koilechai Avishimai Bayachai V'yamatem Koilechai Avishimai הנחמוד מאוד למעלו, זכו לקרוא גדלו, כסר על יויד אוילד לו, אדוי נעני ביחי, ויאמתם קוילכי, רבי שמעון ביחי, ויאמתם סיני, סיני, לא יניקו, והרי שבחבירו, ובניתי צייתו ויו, אוי אדוי נעני ויחי, ויאמתם קוילכי, בשמעון ויחי, ויאמתם קוילכי, בשמעון צדיקי, עשו 70 תקנים, יקרים מפני ינים, עמתיקנו עליינים, אדוי נעני ויחי, ויאמתם קוילכי, בשמעון ויחי.
Let's see.
Oy tzadik yisrael haydo ayla gillo medashan lelam yuchai liftoyu ayla madai naini bayachai veyamatem koilechai avishimai bayachai veyamatem koilechai avishimai koilai zimnai uritzim veyuchris esakotim veyuchil al-chitzim madai naini bayachai veyamatem koilechai
That's too bright. It's got to be like that. Exactly. You don't want to good. That looks good. Drop more, baby. Right? Yeah, this is too much. No, that's good. We're good. Thank you.
Adai naini vayacha teirusai mubailuni imehirasai naini yamlitzai vadaini Adai naini vayacha teirusai mubailuni
Yeah, that's what I do now. I went through all of them. Last night I did that. I checked for every page. Within like 30 minutes, 2,000 people are looking at it. You want to see or not see? I figured we got the stand of the mic. Yeah.
Adonai Vayachai, V'hamatan Kol Lechai, Amishim Amalechai, la 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 la.
I guess the mic when he finishes.
Can I get food?
Drink. You want food? Just a drink. A what? Like water or something.
Water, seltzer.
Min Mi'al Kavishma, Avishima Vayachai, In Mi'al Kavishma, Avishima Vayachai.
Give me the mic.
L'chaim, everybody, l'chaim. Elam is so far away. All right. L'chaim. So everybody knows, like Boimer is connected to the Rashbi, to Rav Shimon, to the Zohar. Yeah, sit down there, Larry. Yeah, maybe sit down.
Just for the road?
The idea of the concept of Sphira is connected to Nagu Kavod Zebazeh. The idea of Kavod, the Pasuk says, Sama nafshi lelakim lekel choy, Moshe yava v'yira pnei elakim. Sama nafshi lelakim lekel choy, kel choy is Gematria Memtes. Sama nafshi lelakim, my heart longs to be connected. Sama nafshi lelakim, to be connected to Hashem, but be connected to Hashem to a kel choy. Kel choy means that it's a living presence. It's a kel choy. It's a living God. Masay ava ve'ira. When will I come to see Pnei Elikim, the inner quality of Elikim? So the Arizal says that the Pnei Elikim, the inner quality of Elikim, is connected to Shem Achtetam. That if you take the letters of Aleph, Lamed, Hey, Yud, Mem, and you take the letters that come before it, so Aleph there's nothing before, and Mem is a Mem. So the middle letters, Achtetam, the Gematria of the middle letters is 33. Lag Boimer, Lag. The Pnei Elikim is the Gal that reveals what is in the name of Elikim. And the total value is 74. Pshat is like this. What does Kavod mean? How could it be? First, we have to understand what Kavod is. And then we have to understand why, how is it possible that Talmidei Rabbi Akiva, Shmuel, your wife's here? Okay, when she's here, you'll tell me. That, how is it possible, Inagu Kavod Zeb is so it says about Rabbi Akiva that Kishemeis Rabbi Akiva Batla Kavod HaTorah. The Gemara the Mishnah says at the end of Soita, which is accustomed to learn, it has the 49 dafim connected to the 49 days of Sphira. So the Gemara in Soita finishes, oh, that's better. Yeah. It finishes, it says that Kishemeis Rabbi Akiva Batla Kavod HaTorah. So Rashi says, what is the Kavod HaTorah of Rabbi Akiva? What does it mean to the Kavod, the honor of the Torah? The Kavod HaTorah means that he was doirish, he seeked every single pintala, every single prat. You know, it's dafke Talmidei Rabbi Akiva didn't have Kavod with each other. You know why? I'll explain you why. Because when people are friends, you know when you know somebody when they're a bacher, you know someone in yeshiva, and then you meet the person 20 years later, and the guy became a huge Talmud Chacham, or he became a big Gvir. But you remember the guy as a Shlomazl. So when you see the guy, you have like a smirk. It's like, come on, really, you became the Talmud Chacham. It's not Shaykh. That's why Ein Novi Be'iroi. Chazal say there's no prophet in their own town because I know you when you're a little child, when you're in your Pampers running around playing. But I guess it's going to be so. So covered means what? Exactly. So they didn't know him. Covered means when you live in the presence of the moment and you keep doirish, you can seek a relationship with your friend that's a living relationship. That it's chai. Kel choy elokei maseicha le'sas lechem. Torah says, we learned a few parshas ago, that elokei maseicha le'sas lechem. You should not make a molten image. Elokei maseicha. What is elokei maseicha? So the Meish Loich says that elokei maseicha means don't make your God solid. Don't say, this is the Eibishter. I know the Eibishter. This is the Eibishter. I knew the Eibishter when I was a child. And now I know the Eibishter when I'm a little older. I know God when I'm a little older. It's the same thing. It's a Lekei Maseicha, something already engraved and it's set. You know, the Baditchever once told someone, an Apikoyers once told someone that had his problems in Amunah, he told him that the God that you don't believe in, I also don't believe in. The God that you fashioned in your imagination when you were a 5-year-old child, some type of, big person with a nice long beard giving out goodies or slapping people around, that maybe in Cheder you got such an education. That God I also don't believe in. So Lekei Maseicha means don't get stuck in your understanding of what the Rebbeinu Shalom is, and what Hashem is. And the idea of Tzama Nafshi Lelekim Lekel Choy, Kel Choy means Hashem wants a relationship that we should have, that it's a living relationship. It's a Lekei Choy. Lekei Choy means that it's something that's alive, that's constantly evolving, constantly our understanding is deepening. This is the Kavod Zebazeh. It's connected to the Kavod Zebazeh. Because when you don't relate to someone as they are in the present, Asher Shom, and you look at them from they were in the past, then it's Maseicha. You're looking at the person as a molten image. I remember you. I remember you when you were a Bacher. You were this. Or maybe something changed. This is what avoida of sphere. So Hashem wants we should have a relationship that it should be a kel choy. When there's a kel choy, you're doirish kol koitz v'koitz. When something is alive, you don't say I know it already. You always say, what can I learn more? What can I be doing? This is the Maila of Rabbi Akiva, that he was doirish al kol koitz v'koitz. He was doirish every single day. The dvarim hamischatshim pshat b'chol yoim. Every single day, new things became revealed, and every day he wanted to understand deeper. This has been another lamakim between man and Hashem. It's also been another malachaveret. This is the avodah of Sphere, so Omer. This is the avodah of Lag BaOmer. This is the work of Lag BaOmer. Lag BaOmer, kiyodua u'meforsum, is a very, very interesting day. It's a day that's not mentioned in the Gemara, not mentioned in the Rambam, not mentioned in the Rosh. It's not mentioned in all the Rishonim. The Girsa that we say that it says, one of the reasons we celebrate like Boim has to do with Misasa Shel Rashbi, that it was the day of the Stalkas Rashbi. The Chidos says that it's a Toas Hatfus. That it doesn't say Yoim Shemeis Rashbi, it says Yom Simchas Rashbi. Rashbi is connected to Lag BaOmer. It wasn't Yom Shemeis. This is Girsa and Kisvei Ari. But Lepoil, it was Niskabel by Tfutz Yisrael, by Gedolei Yisrael, that it's Yom Shemeis. And what's fascinating is that if you look at the Achrayim, you look at the people that are writing about Lag BaOmer, everyone came along and said a Chiddush Nifla. For example, the Bnei Yissaschar says that not only is it the day that Rabbi passed away, it's also the day that he was born. So Chiddush doesn't say anywhere. So it doesn't even say that anywhere that he passed away. The Bnei Yissaschar say it's the day that he was born. The Kaf HaChaim says that's the day that he gave smicha to his 5 Talmidim. I don't know. What was that? You're not Shemayim. Huh?
Lila doesn't mean he passed away.
Right, Simchas Rosh Hashanah doesn't mean it, but Hilula, this is an interesting thing, that Hilula, the word Hilula, so in Shas, in Gemara, Hayama Kebe Hilula Dame, Agadebe Hilula in Gemara means a wedding. Hilula in the Zohar means a yard site. That in itself is something you have to understand. The same word, that when it says Hilula in the Zohar, it means a yard site.
Once you get married, it's a yard site.
When he says Hilula, so that's another oimik. That's another oimik.
That's a different discussion.
That's a different discussion for another time. But the idea of Lag BaOmer, we have to go to the oimik of Lag BaOmer. We have to understand what really Lag BaOmer is. How did it come to be? And it seems to be something that is part of Knesset Yisrael. It's a Yom Tiv that's connected to Knesset Yisrael. How, why, we have to understand. And why Dafka the 33rd day, and why Dafka connected to the Rashbi. And it's the Mishnas Chassidim says that the Rashbi asked that B'Yom P'tirasa, the day that he passes on, should be a Simcha. What's talking going on? What's going on? We need to understand this. I don't want to get technical, but we have to get very, very quickly technical, because technically, when the Gemara says, the famous Gemara says that the Talmidei Rav Akiva passed away, the Gemara in Yevamos, the Gemara actually doesn't say that we commemorate them or that we mourn. It doesn't say that. Just as they passed away on Pesach Chag. That they passed away between this time period. So it became a question. It seems to be that they passed away only for 33, 34 days. And it became a big question of which 34 days. One opinion is, which is the Mechaber, you start from the beginning, and you go to Lag BaOmer. Not Lag BaOmer, actually called Lad BaOmer. Yeah, and you go to the 34th day. The Ramah's opinion is that you start Rosh Chodesh Elul and you go until 3 days before Shavuos. And then you have to understand really why Lag BaOmer is a Yom Tov, because according to Ramah, it's within the days of Sfira. According to the Mechaber, the reason why you do Lag BaOmer is because Pascal Lamos. They stop dying, even though the real Lag BaOmer for Sfardim should be Lad BaOmer, it should be the 34th, because the Mechaber says they died on the 33rd till the 34th in the morning. Okay, Azoi, it's not a shayla. The another opinion is, the Maharil's opinion is that they actually didn't pass away from Pesach to Shavuos for the first 33 or for Rosh Chodesh. They passed away in total 33 days. But they didn't pass away during the 7 days of Pesach and the 7 Shabbosim and the Rosh Chodesh 2 days. So if you do all the calculations, they only passed away 33 days.
Regular days.
That's the Maharil writes. Regular days. So Lag BaOmer is marked as that day. Nothing happened in Lag BaOmer. And the Marsha says that the reason why Lag BaOmer is because it's a super majority of days is already passed. That there's already, you divide 49 in threes, it's about 16 and 3/4, right? You do that double, so you have 32 and a half, this is 33, therefore you mark the 33, this is what Marsha says. And we're going to go with this Mahalach. We're going to go with this pass because there's something very, very boimic in this shot. There's a lot of different, in the Rishonim, in the early commentators, a lot of different ways how to see this time period between Pesach and Shavuos. Like we spoke before, the Ramban, the Yedua, says that it's Chalamoid. This is one pshat. No, understand? One says Chalamoid. Another pshat is that, like the Chinuch brings and the Ran brings, that it has to do with a tzi'ipa, desire or waiting for Matan Torah. Another pshat is, like the Zohar says, that it's connected to Isha Nida, that it's the Shiva Nekiyim, just like the 7 days of Klem, of Shiva Nekiyim, and a person has to do a Bedika. The same goes for this, not 7 days, but it's 7 weeks of Nekiyim. It's Simei Nida. How do they all connect? There's a lot of nice. Sometimes when you ask someone a question, they tell you 10 things, none of them are right. Tell someone, tell me what's today. Today is this. No. But there's another opinion, and a third opinion, a fourth opinion. Then you know that opinion is right, wrong. We have to decide. If you're telling me there's 1,000 things in Lag B'omer, you have to know what is the oimek hatzad hashava from all of them. What is the depth that connects everything? Kavadat Torah, Rashbi, Rabbi Kiva, and mourning and waiting for Matan Torah and Nida. What's the Nakuda? There has to be some Nakuda of this. There has to be the common denominator through which everything, all the reasons come out. So for that, we have to say L'chaim.
Of course.
And we have to sing a Negan. And Levi, you want to sing a Negan?
Yeah, Levi is. We wanted Levi very much to hear Levi.
You want Negan, yeah?
I have no voice.
Yeah, your no voice is better than most.
No,
people's.
you want to play the. Yeah, I mean, let's play the niggas. We just discussing. We're about to find out what a jackpot this is. So I think we have to celebrate just before that.
Bring in the hype.
If you don't want to,
You ready? You can do it?
No pressure.
You have no voice?
I can start it again. You guys will sing.
Yeah, you can sing your Nagunim most, I think. No?
I can't sing.
Okay.
Okay.
You do one or two songs.
You can't hear? You can't hear. Oh, now you hear.
No, we have to hear.
The very top.
Oh. You should have said before I stopped speaking. Okay.
I think we're gonna have to start.
Kel Choy. You can't.
Start with L'chaim.
Kel Choy has to be living, has to be present. If it wasn't, there was a Yid I knew. He was an older guy. He was a little deaf, and when someone used to, he was a big veer. So people used to constantly ask him for money. So when he didn't want to give, he says "Charnisht." So the guy used to scream back. He says, "Wenn ich Charnisht der erste Mal, hätte ich nicht der zweite Mal." Ich habe nicht gehört. Ich hätte nicht weiter. Yeah. So.
Okay, so we're gonna.
Okay, we'll sing and sing in a row. Let's we can do this. L'chaim, everybody. L'chaim. Ya da dum bum 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 ba da 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 la 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 da da la 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 ya bum bim bum 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 ba da da bum 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 by the bum 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 bum.
I can bring food.
Bum 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 by the bum bum by the bum 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 by the by the bum 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 bum. Maybe that's your guitar. Huh? You want to ask Rocky if Adam ask Rocky if she could maybe FaceTime or something? Yeah. With the Newmans.
Okay, yeah. Sure.
Okay. Hey,
Bring it to you.
I guess you can use maybe if they're ready. You'll bring it here. You'll bring it forward. Sure. But you can stand there. Love it again. Maybe you sing.
You know speed.
Give it a little life.
Wow, okay. Good. Great. I like enough.
Soto, Vayatzi Soto, Unai Santa, Vayatzi Soto, Vayatzi Soto.
וואו. ונזיר כנף.
אז we kennen.
What's that? Well, give us a l'chaim shmuel. L'chaim. L'chaim.
Something?
Okay, no.
Oh, it's just.
Till he gets ready.
Okay, yeah.
L'chaim. L'chaim. You don't hear me, tell me.
Yeah, if you want to move, maybe the speaker.
It's a problem?
No. Just want people to hear. Ladies.
Everyone hears. Do you hear? As we will have an
Exactly. Okay.
The head?
Yeah, my head. Give you.
So you have to get to the understanding of the depth of Rosh. Okay, let him play as long as it's a shot. Chaim. Amen. That's dramatic. Tonight is the oimek, the depth, the highest, the deepest oimek of Sphira. That's the cheshbon. The cheshbon is that it's the super majority. So you know, what's the whole idea of Sfiras Omer? How's it connected? How's all the things connected? So the Ari HaKadosh revealed a structure. And the structure, if you understand how it works, how the whole structure works, you can understand the oimik of everything that Chazal say about this time period. And the word is that on Pesach, on the night of Yetzias Mitzrayim, a person is given a matana, is given a gift, and the gift is called Gadlus Rishon, Gadlus Sheni. It's called a gift of greatness. It's a time that even though we were steeped in the Memtes Shari Tuma, in the lowest depth of Klippa, of stuckness, it comes a time once in our lifetimes, once a year, that the Eibusha schleps us out of our golos. That Hashem just lifts you out and gives you a peek, an intimation, a vision of what it means, what it could be to live big, to live clear, to live with emunah and bitochen, with clarity and faith and hope. And that's the Leila Seder. The Leila Seder is Halol Avodah Zarah, Halol Avodah Zarah. Even though we don't deserve, it's a Sarusa de Leila, it's an awakening that comes from above. And in the Leila Seder, we sit like malachim, we sit like angels. People are dressed in white. The Maral says it's to dress like the Kohen Gadol, that's nichas afayin lefnim, to go into the Holy of Holies. You sit like a melech, you sit like a king, and you bring out your finest dishes, and you're a king. You have Gadlus Gashmi and Gadlus Ruchni. You sit by your table, and there's Yetzias Mitzrayim. And maybe in the beginning of the Seder, you didn't feel it, but slowly as you're going through the Seder, and you're eating and you're drinking, at some point, you reach a point where it's like nim v'lo nim, tir v'lo tir. You're a place of like semi-conscious. Maybe you had too much mar, too much matzah, too much wine, but you're mishvimt. You're like swimming in the heavens, and you're like conscious and semi-conscious. Chot v'shina. Shina is Yashon. It's connected with Olam Ha'atik, the highest madrega, the highest level. And somehow, by the Leila Seder, you're sitting there, and you say, you know what, Hashem, actually, It's all perfect. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It doesn't make any sense. I can't explain why this is my life, and this is the house I live in, this is the wife I have, these are my children. I can't. Maybe yes, it's not negative, but tonight everything just feels perfection. It's nirtza. It's leratzas. It's everything is merutza. Everything feels exactly accepted and whole and perfect. And Abisha says, I'm giving you this gift on Pesach. But immediately, right after Pesach, Hashem takes it away. Hashem takes it away. Because when something is gifted to you and you don't work on achieving it, you squander it. It's called Nama Diksufa. It's shameful. It's bread of shame. If you don't work on something and you receive it, you know someone, you win a lottery, most people that win a lottery lose their money after a while. Why? Because there was no yigia. There was no work. There was no struggle. They won it. The Abisha says, I want to really give you Matan Torah immediately. I want Shmini Atzeres, that's like the Shmini Atzeres, which comes right after Sukkot. I want really that Shavuot should be really 7 days later, Achim Shal Pesach, Shvi Shal Pesach. But I know that if you're going to receive it, and you're not going to desire it, you're not going to long for it, you're going to squander it, you're going to receive it, and you're going to lose it. So I'm going to give you a gift. Rav Pinson says it's like a parent or a person walks into a candy store, and the person says, I want to give you a candy for free. The owner says, I want to give you a candy for free. Why does the owner give the candy for free? Not so the kid should eat the candy, because the kid should buy the candy. The kid should taste the candy and say, such a good candy, could I have more? So the giving of something for free is only to whet the appetite of what we could have. So we're given a gift. Pesach, we're given a gift. Then comes the days of Sfira. Hashem says, I'm going to give it to you 49 days later. I want to create the tshuka. I want you to create a desire to want the Torah. A desire to have moichet, to have clarity. I'm going to give it to you, but I want you to want it. And that's why every day of Sfira is counting down to get to that point. I long for it. I yearn for it. And here's something very, very wonderful. Where do you long for something? Which is the high point of longing? Let's say you had a child, a spouse, someone you're very connected to, and you're very much connected to the person, and you always see them every day. And this individual is going on a trip, and they're going away for 10 days. So day 1, you still remember. Day 2, day 3, it's only 3 days ago, 4 days ago. Day 6, they're only 4 days away. Day 7, only 3 days away. Which is the height of longing? The midpoint. When you get to the midpoint, it's nishtahin nishtaher. It's not that way, it's not this way. It's not they just left and not they're coming back. That's where the longing is stronger. The desire to be connected is specifically in the moment of the peak of the separation. That's why the kruvim or ma'urim zebozeh, Chazal say, specifically bizman hachurban. Because of Koretz, Beis Oscar brings down, it was dafke because at that moment, mamash of the separation, that's the moment of the strongest yearning to be connected. That's when I really, really understand that I really need to be connected to. And that's if the whole idea of Sfira is Yemei Nida, like the Zohar Kodesh says. So what does Rashbi teach on Nida? It's a Gemara. The Rashbi says, Shalom Tamid Rashbi, the students of Rashbi, the Gemara Nida Lamanalas, ask, why does the Torah say that a milah has to be b'shmoina? So the Gemara says, Rashbi said, because it's so the parents should be connected. And why is the whole idea of Nida? The whole intention of the separation is to create greater longing. We don't believe in separation. We don't believe in Havdalah. So much so that the Ramah brings down that a Chodesh year, it's a minig not to give a get. If someone has to give a get, The Ramah says you shouldn't give a get b'chodesh iyar. B'chur chodesh iyar is a separation. So the Ramah has a technical issue. The technical issue is you're not sure how you spell iyar. Aleph yud yud reish or Aleph yud reish. Beshmul over there, Nebuchadnezzar says that Aleph yud yud reish because Avram Yitzchak Yaakov Rachel. To remember that it's two reish. The Magen Avraham says you don't do it. The idea of separation, when you say Havdalah, Mavdul ben Kodesh L'chol ben L'choshech ben Sola Amim. So Omer B'Shuba Levi says, the Gemara says that Kol Havdalah, that any Havdalah that's written in the Torah, we're allowed to mention. Havdalah that's not mentioned in the Torah, separation is not mentioned in the Torah, we don't mention. Why? Because when the Torah speaks of Havdalah, it right away tells us that the point of the Havdalah is for the Amtaka, it's for sweetening. The Eibusher is Mavdil ben Oil Choshech, in between light and darkness, but they create a unity. Day two, which is not, the Torah doesn't say Toiv day two. Why? Because it's the idea of separation. And it's Havdalah vayavdal lakim ben amayim la'amoyim. Hashem separated between the upper and lower waters. What happens on day three? Yom shehuch v'kitoiv. It starts raining. Vegetation. What is vegetation? Where there's a chibur between mayim alyoin and mayim tachtoinim. There's a period of Adam and Chava when they go to sleep. Vayisker basar tachteno. Hashem takes a part of Adam, but then right away v'hoy lebasar echad. They become one flesh. The purpose of Havdalah in the Torah is to create a stronger awareness of the other in order to create a yichud. It's never for Havdalah purpose. Because the Alma the Yichud is one. And that's the objective, to get to the place of one. But sometimes, the only way you can get to one is if you recognize there's two. Because if you start with the perception that there's no two, then there's not one either. If someone says, I love everybody, they love nobody. If someone says, I love my wife, I love my shviga, I love my children, I love the guy that davens next to me in shul, the nudnik, and I love everybody, that's Amos. Because if you can mavchin, you can mavdil and say this, that, and the other person, then it means you have love. If I say I love everything, it means nothing. The Havdalah, the tachlis of the Havdalah is to create a yichud. That's why you wear gartel. That's the reason why you wear a gartel. To recognize the one. And the way to recognize the one is to say, Mepalgal eila lahormiz. Mepalgal tata lahormiz. Up, the first top of the body is to one person, to one entity. The second is to, I recognize the separation, but now I'm going to do integration. The tachlis of the Havdalah is the yichud. So the height, what does the Mashal say? The height of the katnus, the state that we exist in Sfiras Omer is Lag Boimer. Because that's the super majority of Lag Boimer, is the highest time of each period. But what's the tachlis of the period? To awaken and arouse desire. So in the peak where we feel the most separated, that's actually the place where we feel most connected. And that's the Gilui of Rashbi. That's the Gilui of Rashbi. Because what's the Chiddush of Rashbi? What is the quality that Rashbi revealed into the world? So there was a machloikis, there was a big argument. The Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. And Yidden were living after the Churban. And the question was, now that we don't have a Beis HaMikdash, who are we? What are we? How do we live as Yidden? What does it mean to live without a bias? And along came a guy, Bar Koichva, Bar Kaziva, Shimon. By the way, Shimon, I have to talk about him, Shimon, but Shimon is a mysterious name. Shimon represents the mystery. Shimon is a hidden person. The Beis Aaron writes that Shimon is Sham Oven. Sham Oven. Dafka Shimon is Miyachet, the dinner connected to the place of the Meshavuach has all arichas says it has to be with Machmas Vekas. That Shimon represents the Shevet that's mysterious. There's a Gevaldige word. Doesn't say anywhere. I told you, most things in Lag Baimer don't say anywhere. It says in Knesset Yisrael. Reb Tzaddik brings down B'Shem Rebbe, Tkonos HaShavim, he writes that Reb Shimon Bar Yochai was from Shevet Shimon. Shimon Zereshava, the Shimon was from Shevet Shimon. It's a halfly of a fella because we know that Shevet Shimon didn't exist in time Rashbi. But the Oimek, what he's saying is that Rashbi is connected to the secret. There's a secret that's going on that if you're only living on the world of superficial, you think one thing. But if you're able to look a little deeper, you see something completely different. Klal Yisrael was living through a churban, a destruction. So what do we do? What do we do? Comes along a mysterious character, Shimon. And by the way, all the mysterious characters in Shas are Shimon. Ben Azai, Ben Zoyim, all Shimon. It's a mysterious name. Whatever it doesn't say who the person is, we know his name is Shimon. He's the mysterious character. Comes along a character and says, there's a churban. Beis HaMikdash is destroyed. Kula libere Rekiva is Teresh B'Peh. Galia the Torah. Rekiva says, okay, you know what we have to do? We have to build the Beis HaMikdash. How are we going to build the Beis HaMikdash? We're gonna rebel against the Romans. We're going to be victorious against the Romans. And we're going to build the Beis HaMikdash. And he carried the banner. The Rambam writes, that Akiva went in front of Bar Kochva and proclaimed as Mashiach. But that didn't happen. David says, why does that didn't happen? So the world was in a place of Shimun. It was destroyed. It was toyu. It was chaos. Along came the Rashbi and said, when we say that Kula lived there Rekiva, that's in Gali. The halacha is never like Reb Shimon in halacha. In Shas, halacha is never like Reb Shimon. Besides, there's also Reb Tzadik writes, besides the Pnimis HaTorah, rather, because the Pnimis HaTorah is Reb Shimon. That in Galia the Torah, in the revealed part of Torah, halacha is never like Reb Shimon. Whenever it comes to Pnimis HaTorah, the halacha is Reb Shimon. So Reb Shimon says, like Tishkach Torah mi Yisrael. So the Tzadik says, this is the Pnimis HaTorah. Tishkach is the Pnimis HaTorah. Pnimis HaKnesses Yisrael. Reb Shimon, the Zohar HaKadosh, and Pnimis HaTorah revealed a new secret. A secret that allowed Klal Yisrael to persevere in exile and Golus. Despite the fact that we don't have a Beis HaMikdash, despite the fact that we don't have a physical place to serve the Eibusher in a physical place, Reb Shimon was Megala, a Soid. And this is the Soid of Pnimis HaTorah. The Soid of Pnimis HaTorah is that everything that happens on a physical level also happens on a nafshis level. Everything that happens in Mokim also happens in Saman. Everything that happens in space happens in time. Everything that happens in time and space occurs in the Nefesh Adam. There is a Kohen, and there is a Beis HaMikdash. And you know the Kohen Gadol is? You. Latem tiyu l'malachas kohenim v'goy kodesh. The Baal HaTurim writes, malachas kohenim is kohenim gedolim. You don't need a Baal HaTurim, it's a Mefeirish Rambam. The Rambam writes that loy oisi sheva b'vad, that not only sheva, but any person that desires to be connected, Hashem nas chalki ato toimav geroli, and a person is davik in the Eibusher, and is kadosh kodesh kadashim, becomes like a kohen gadol. Kodesh kadashim, and is kadosh kodesh kadashim. A person can become the yichidish of an nefesh. A person can become the kohen gadol. And where is the Beis HaMikdash? The Beis HaMikdash is your house. Your house. When you make a place in Mokim Kedusha, is your wife here? So we have to thank Rabbi Lapa for everything that she opens up her home for everybody to make this place like a Mikdash Ma'at, and the schus of Reb Shimon should be the schus of all your father and your mother and your shviger. Shviger is like having a shamash and having an aliyah. It's a gewaltige word. I don't know what we're talking, but we have to live it. And when he says, Chazal tell us, the Gemara Megillah says that that all the Bati Knesses, the Bati Medrashes will enter into the Beis HaMikdash, will enter into Yerushalayim. The Marsha over there says something Haflu V'Felu. Mashal says what it means is that the Beis Hamikdash of the Osid will be mischaber from all the Bate Knesiyas. So therefore, the Mashal says that when you're sitting in your house and you put a place that you daven, you're sitting in the Beis Hamikdash of the Osid. And Chassam Sofer says this word, and he chazes it, and he says, because when a person makes a seder, he's davening, he's doing mitzvahs, it's a mikdash ma'at. So when you make your seder, your bias is nekdash, and it becomes a chelik of the Beis Hamikdash.
That's why it says that for those who don't need to live in Beis Hamikdash, you don't nechal.
Yeah.
Because you don't go to
exactly.
You don't go to shul. You don't
go to shul. You don't make your Beis
That's
Hamikdash.
the
The churban Beis Hamikdash, correct. You're sitting in the Beis Hamikdash. You're the Kohen Gadol. You're the final flame. Understand what's going on? This is the highest things. Rashbi revealed the soid matav nafshi. The secret is that right now, right here, we can be connected to the highest madrigas. That you could be the Kohen Gadol. Baal Shem Tov says in Kodesh HaKadosh, and Baal Shem HaKadosh says that every person, Pinchas ben Yair, there's an interesting machlokes, and the Gemara comes out from Shabbos. That Pinchas ben Yair was the Shver Rashbi. Yeah, and he comes out of Meir, he says it's a Shver. But in the Zohar HaKadosh it says that it was Zaydim. It's a Shver. Right, the Gemara says it's a Shver, and the Zohar says it was Zaydim. You have to understand the psychology of this. Kanira was both together. It was a Shver that it was a Zaydim. So it's a Madrega already. If you can make your Shver into your Eidim, there's already a high Madrega. This is Mamish, the Mises of Pinchas ben Yair. So the Gemara says that the water split for Pinchas ben Yair when he was doing the mitzvah opinion. And he had to go through the water, and he told the water split, and he said, the water said, no, I'm doing the Ratzon Hashem. He says, no, I'm also doing the Ratzon Hashem. Yeah, what's happening?
Just a little lower. I think it makes it clearer.
I should speak lower?
No, speak. Hold the mic.
The mic. So what did Pinchas ben Yair do? The Nark split for him. Baal Shem Tov says that be'emes every Yid has, if they really believe, they can split the water. And the shaila why it doesn't happen is because you don't believe. Because when you're going to say, you're going to say, me? Mele Pinchas ben Yair, the water is going to split for me? It's the chesaron. The Hashem Kochsich and the Zinim is saying that the chesaron, when a person, the reason why we don't daven well is because we don't believe that davening really means anything. You don't really believe that we can affect change. You don't really believe that your mamish, the Kohen Gadol, is nichsat v'ayim v'fnim. You're the highest level person that's walking into the Holy of Holies. Me? I'm like the guy standing, in the chel or the chutzvah, the ezes nosh. I'm derech choyka. I'm not even in Yerushalayim. And this is the oimik. This is what the kilo of the Rashbi is. That the Zohar Kodesh is the key to get us out of Golus. The key to get us out of Golus is the creation, the belief that we belong out of Golus, that we deserve to be that there should be a Gilui. I'll tell you another word to give out. I don't know. We're talking too much. We have to sing. We have to bring. There's a word that says like this. That Tzitzis Tzaddik says. So that l'chatchila we brought karbonos. Karbonos is in the world of Maisa, action, and then Tfilos and Bakan karbonos tiknu. It became dibur. It became speech instead of action. He says the geula will come when there'll be machshava. Tzaddik. That in order for there to be the geula, it's Maisa was one action. Then as dibur, and then as hiru. That our machshavas are pure. That we live in the world of kedusha and purity and faith and emunah. That not only we speak it and we do it, we live it. When we live it, it's going to happen. Maybe she should help. Maybe she does help. It's Gal, it's Boimer. There should be a gilui. We should be revealed. Everything that has to be revealed should be revealed. And Klal Yisrael shall be Yeshuas, Refuas, Chamas. Zchusa Yogan Aleinu. Chaim.
Give me one job. Help me take care of the weather. I like the weather a lot. Yeah, everything is a magic. Like even the snow is a bit. What did Rocky say that Adam's next your new number? Adam, her phone number died. He texted them my number, and if they're around, they're gonna call me. Never do it. Okay. I'll call you. You'll call with my number soon. I'll call them on your number. Sure. Call them now. Okay, sure. But let's take of this. Don't try anybody because they're very corona. Just go somewhere far away and call them. Let's show this area. Not the people. Okay, fine. Adam! Shalom! Someone's gonna call you with a number. Pick up, you'll get a connection. Okay. Call this number. Let Adam. Still, Adam. Well, let them play. Please time and point this way. Yeah, just over here. Stand over there or whatever.
Adam L'chaim.
What's going on?
You're the wrong profession. You're the wrong profession.
It's not on your resume at all.
Yeah, he said you're getting a raise.
This is not a
With the mic.
Wow. And he said it's quick, it doesn't mean you're finished.
No. So I'll speak a little and you'll continue. Okay. I'm not speaking with a brain, it's a whole different
How beautiful is it?
It's unbelievable. Shmuel.
Shmuel.
We need the mic.
Shmuel.
Ja. Gewaltiges Gissen, Shmuel. Gewaltiges Gissen.
Ieder hebben het zijn Shmuel.
Shmuel, Wilder Ebbetson.
In bed? No.
Jeremy, where's Levi? Where's Levi? They don't hear me. Dus een beetje gaan, kan ze hebben? Last, me guess, me get me. Allah Shmuel. L'chaim.
I can't hear you up there.
L'chaim eden, l'chaim. Ja, gezegd l'chaim. Gesundheit, Amen. Zusammen mit Mashiach.
De Rebbe redt kon voor business.
Ja.
Die houdt je mijn ecstasy op.
Halt schon mal nächstes Jahr. Geht schlafen schon.
Oder?
Ja, Spaß. Es ist ein scharfer Brache und die geht schlafen. Okay.
Who really?
Levi, where's Levi?
He might have gone home with his kids.
It's time to come back.
Yeah.
Is this his
We
phone?
have a long night.
Oh. We just started. Wie is Shragi? Shragi's eating?
Raggy.
Oh, he went to go get the Rebbe's Shmuel.
Oh. So first of all, we have to thank again the Rebbetzin Shmulik. Akimsha. Okay, we thank them over again. Chamer Lamari Tevusa L'Shakia. The Chamer is Lamari, but Tevusa you have to give to the host. Everything Chamer Lamari means the wine belongs to the Eibishter. But Tevusa, to thank you, you say to the person, the butler that fills the water. Maybe Shmuel thinks he's the ganze, yeah.
Shmuel, maar redt van de.
Weiß das gut.
He does a hoitje behoid. Hoitje behoid. Remember we talked about hoitje behoid, Migirat Shabbos, the Rishna, you were there? The Heilige Rishna, the Meisim with the Hish. Oh. The Rebbetzin do. First of all, Shmuel is in the Neshama of your mother. Shavik Gewaldige Aliyah. What's her name? Bas her name? Bas Dubetzvi.
Her grandfather was Menachem Mendel.
He
was born in Rimenov.
Rimenov.
I mean, soon.
Tonight's the outside. Tomorrow night.
Fine.
And the schus of your Shver. So Yitzchak. Ben about Charen. Shomish Aliyah. There's a word that says in Swarm, Taka the word that Sad and the Arachadu. That since the Sad, the earth is all one, it's the Achdus. Mele, unlike Boime, you should visit Kivet Tzadik and Chal Kivet Tzadik. Every Kivet Tzadik is an Indian. Tonight is okay.
Tonight's still okay.
Tonight's okay. So there's an Indian. So the Ariya Kodesh tells us that the shame that's connected. So some anafshalakim l'masayava lekel choy. The Kodesh Magid says the kel choy means the living God. The living God pshat is that it's your doyers called koitz and koitz. It's the same word. You know why you have covered Torah? You know why? Because you don't think there's the Nevuas Yecheskel in the prophecy of Yecheskel. It says the Yecheskel was Oymed al Nar Kvar. He was sitting on the waters, on the banks of the water Nar Kvar. It says Kvar is Kipshute. The Nar of it was already. Kvar Hoya. That the Golus means Kvar. When a person says Kvar, you know someone tells you something, he says, you never heard it from me. You never heard it the way I say it. Or you learn something, it's like, That's Golus. That's Golus. Golus means you live with the past. Had a Zayda, Avram Ayor, big chassid. Avram from the city of Mayor. They called him by his big mashpia, big tzaddik.
Where was Ayor in Belarus?
Belarus.
Oh, we have a girl from Belarus.
They used to say that Amalek, he used to say like this, Amalek in Yiddish is Amol. Amol. Amalek Pshati is Amol. Amol is in Grace Yidden. I always thought to myself, imagine Talmidei Baal Shem was sitting by the Baal Shem HaKadosh, or Talmidei Magid, this is better, Talmidei Magid was sitting saying, me, the Melech, the Bzishe, the Choyze, the Alter Rebbe, it's Amol, those Talmidei of the Arizal. Oh! If they would have said that for 1 second, the whole Chassidus would never started.
Nothing would have happened.
Nothing would have happened.
If the Gemara says about the Tanuim,
Exactly. If the Talmidei Ari would sit down and say, okay, man, Ayid. Amol. Amol is Amalek. The gather of Amol is Amalek. Mizakt Amol is Amalek. It's the clip of Amalek. Amol given, Amol given Grace Eden. What's Amol given? It's Amol Grace Eden. It's Amol Grace Eden. Okay, different surah. They establish different surahs. Nicht nur Lamed Vav Tzadikim Gluim. Ich rede alle Yidden. No, I'm talking about Kipshute. I'm talking about me and you. I'm not talking about Lamed Vav Tzadikim. Ich rede nicht Amol. Ich sage Amol. Ich sage Amol. Shemtes. Chassidim. Emes. Tzadiki Agdoim. And what's today? Today, Ach Shadar Bitme. Ach Shadar Bitme is a clipper. Ach Shadar Bitme is a question mark. It's not a statement. Ach Shadar Bitme? Nah. Ach Shadar Bitme. I want to tell you, I've worked also from the Tzaddik. I know the Tzaddik, the oil of Tzaddik is shining tonight. The Tzaddik, you didn't hear, we've said already 10 words from the Tzaddik. But he says, I'm holding his word. He says, the Tzaddik says like this, he says that in Galia the Torah, whatever generation is further back is canonized. You don't touch it. The Gemara, someone's going to argue Gemara, you can't argue. The Amorim don't argue Tanoim, Tanoim don't argue the Nevi'im. Was nennt it Matan Torah? The closer you are to Matan Torah, the emphasis. But he says, that in Soidas Torah, it's verkehrt. It's much verkehrt. Who do we follow? The Baal Shem. And who before that, Darizal. And who before that, Rashbi. So as you're getting further away, the more emes. He says because in Pnimius HaTorah we're going towards Mashiach, and the closer you are to the Mashiach, to the Gula, the closer the Gula is. In Nikla you're going according to what's the Gila Matan Torah. The closer to Matan Torah, the further away.
Wow.
And this is why the Yoim, this is the Oimek. It says in Chassidish form that tonight, like Bo'omer, is the Matan Torah of Pnimius HaTorah. Because Galia the Torah, we said that Rabbi Kiva is Allah Rabbi Kiva, Kulal Abder Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Kiva is Torah Shemal Peh. That's the Gilui. The Gilui, you need a Gilui to be revealed. You need Matan Torah. It's Matan Torah. Hadaki Blue Matan Torah. Hadaki Blue is Purim. Purim in Lag Boimer is Mekusha, right? Purim in Lag Boimer is always the same day. There are two rights. Palakhay. That Purim always comes on Lag Boimer. Lag Boimer is the Gilui of Pnimius HaTorah. What's the Gilui of Pnimius HaTorah? The Gilui of Pnimius HaTorah means that the Mokim HaHester, when you think that it's Dafka concealed, it's the Oimek of separation, the Oimek of Katnus. The Eibusha tells you that's Taka, the Oimek of the Gilui. That's the Oimek of the connection. Dafka there. Dafka in the peak of Sphira is the Gilui of Matan Torah. In Pnimius HaTorah. In Galia the Torah, a wedding, which is a beginning of life, a beginning of Yitzchak Sabir, that's Hilula Debei. Hayam Kedvei Hilula Dama. In Pnimis HaTorah, the Hilula, like you said from the Zoya, the Hilula is Dafka the Yortzeit. What you think is an end is Dafka the beginning. When you think that Sphira is the top, the peak point where you can't get any lower, Rashbi comes and says, no, that's the highest point. This is mamish, the place of dvekas, when we feel so connected because we feel so separated. And that's the Vanoichi Aster, that's the Vanoichi Aster. That's why the Gilui of the Rashbi is connected to oil.
That's rock bottom.
It's mamish, but in the rock bottom, you feel that's where the connection is. This is why the Torah Rashbi, the Torah Soid, the Gilui of Torah Shabal Peh, Torah Sanister is Dafke in the peak of sphere, in the peak of all Golas. And Bahai Chibur the Loch Yitkav Lusa Berachamim is Dafke because of there. Dafke because we feel so far, we should know because that brings us such longing. We feel far, but the Chukka is so high. You know what we want? You know when there's a Gila Likus and there's a revelation, it's revealed. Sam Lecha Nafshi, came by Kodesh Chazisicha, the Baal Shem HaKadosh writes, came by Kodesh, Halavai by Kodesh Chazisicha. Halavai, we should have the same Tzemoyin that we have when it's Eretz Oyev Limoyim. Because when it's Eretz Oyev Limoyim, we starve, we're looking for the Kel Choy. Someone Nafshi Lekim Lekel Choy. Kel Choy is the Memtes, Dargas Sphira. Mosai Avira Pnei Lekim, the Achtetam. What's the Shem Achtetam? Shem Achtetam, Shem B'tochen. Bitchu v'Hashem Adei Ad. B'tochen is Gematria Achtetam. That's the Pnei Lekim. Adei Ad, Pshat is, you know, Bitchu Hashem Adei Ad, B'tochen and Ad is the same Gematria. It says in Sforim that Bitchu Hashem Adei Ad, there's a Hop B'tochen, Biz Mahot B'tochen. You understand? Bitchu v'Hashem Adei Ad. Adim is Ad. Ad is B'tochen. Bis zum Kreschen is Eichab B'tochen. We should have faith until we get to the place of faith. We should have hope till the place we get to hope. This is the oimek of the Gilui of the Torah Rashbi. Is you're so far, but you're so close. Because you feel yourself so far, I have so much trust in the Eibusher. I have trust despite the fact that everything tells me fakert. Bitchu b'Hashem ade ad. I'm betochen in the ad. Ad is the Gal Eid. Gal Eid is Lag Boimer. The Gal Eid is the Lag Boimer. The Lag Boimer is the Oimer Kachoshech. Rahman al-Islam, what happened today, we can't comprehend. And we shouldn't comprehend. And we shouldn't allow it in our minds even to comprehend. But the Eibusher, we know that you love us. We don't understand, and we don't understand, and we don't understand. And we shouldn't understand. But Bitchu b'Hashem Adi Ad, Bizin Kretschmer, I trust you, the Eibusher, I trust you. In the Golos, this is the Gilui of the Torah Rashbi. The Torah Rashbi allowed Yidden to survive in Golos. The Torah Rabbi Akiva was Gilui, Halacha. What did Rabbi Akiva say? Let's build a Beis HaMikdash. Rashbi said, it's not going to happen. The Eibusher doesn't want a Beis HaMikdash. The Eibusher wants Bilvav and Mishkan Avner. The Eibusher wants the Pnimius. You can go wherever you want. You can go to Spain. You can go to Italy. You can go to Spurs. Eden could be wherever they want in the world. But you're connected to me. I don't need the Beis HaMikdash for you. I need you to be connected to me in your nefesh apnima. Bitchu Hashem Adiyad. This is the Shem Achtetam. That's in Gala. Achtetam is Lag Boimer. Is Lag is 33. The Gilui of Lag Boimer is Mokem HaHester. V'anoichi Aster. There's a Gilui of Anoich Hashem Lekecha. It's a Gilui. Anoich Hashem Lekecha. It's clear. Then there's another Gilui. There's Anoichi Aster. There's a Gilui in the Aster. It's Aster, and it's Hester, and it's V'lim Torah. But it's Anoichi. I know Hashem, you're there. I have no idea, and I should never have an idea. Maybe should help. I should never even think that I could understand the idea that there's a Hester, and I don't understand And I don't understand, and I never want to understand. There's a Maisa that it says that the Magid had a faribul, that after the Baal Shem HaKadosh passed away, he had a faribul on his Rebbe. And he said that his Rebbe, there was a problem in Klal Yisrael, there was a kitrug, a problem. And he said that the Baal Shem HaKadosh, every time there was a kitrug, he did something. And he said, the Rebbe's Ishdah, what's shot? The Rebbe, it's kitrug. He just left. And we're left, we're in the Golus. And he had a cholim, and the Baal Shem, the Sam Meiser, and the Baal Shem came to the Magid, and he told him, I hear that you have a problem with me. So I do. There's a big kitter in Klal Yisrael. Ve'ineno, you disappeared. So the Baal Shem said that from my perspective, it's all good. It's a problem. I see everything's good. So the Magid said, okay, Rebbe, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to stop davening. He said, no. From your perspective, scientific goals, you daven. Pshat is we're not the Eibishers. There's a word from the Rebbe Rayatz, the Fidig Rebbe, the Bav Shem, says you don't have to be the Eibish avocat. You don't have to be the Eibish's lawyer. You have to figure out the Eibish did something. Moshe Rabbeinu said, the Gemara says in Brach, Tzadik Beraloi, this is the things that he asked. I don't know, doesn't understand. You're going to say, the truth is, because the reason why you're struggling is to build character, to make you stronger. The Eibush has other ways to build character. Yeah, the Eibush can find other ways how to build. The reason is because, in Eiv, there's characters that come to Eiv.
Yeah.
So there's a tzaddik with Rambam. They try to explain it. So one group says, Lishkan tzaddik. That's one thing. Lishkan tzaddik. If it's tzaddik, you're not such a tzaddik. That's one way to think of it. The other group says, Ra? Be'emes, atoy, v'chleis. It said, Halma de Istora, Yudke Vovke. They have a whole husband why this is good for you. The Eibush comes along to Eve and says, and admonishes them, you, whatever, all the three characters that come to Eve and says, no, don't give terutzim. Don't give terutzim. The Eibush takes Eve on a trip and he picks him up and says, Shemayim Oretz, and says, you see the Shemayim Oretz, you created, you were here when there was creation. There's Eibush in the world. Don't try to understand, don't give terutzim. The person's going through a hard time. To build a person. Action cup. Someone's going through a hard time, give him a hug. Let's give him a hug. Say Hashem love you. Don't ever justify anything. The Eibush doesn't want us to justify. The Eibush has a cheshbonis. We don't have to be the Eibish's lawyer. Not the Eibush avocat. We don't have to be the Hashem's lawyer. After the war, after the Holocaust, someone came to the Rebbe Yatz and told him, "I got some nice, the B'ziden, Chvei, Shmei Shabbos, Sa'ir, and reason." He said, "Shai, Shtoi, Kachal B'Ritzaynei." Don't give. The Eibush doesn't need your to be your lawyer, his lawyer. The Eibush has a good lawyer. The Eibush knows what he's doing. The Eibush has his kavanas, but we have to fight. All we have to do is we have to fight for the kasha. We have to fight for the connection. To know that Hashem's with us. I don't understand. I don't know why. I can't figure this out. And I'm not supposed to figure it out. Don't give a teretz. All I know is that the Eibush is with me. I know Hashem's with me. That's the Pnei Elokim, the inner essence of Elokim, the Makim HaStorah, Elokim is Lashon Din. The Pnei Elokim is the Shem B'tachim. I'm B'teach B'Hashem. And when a person is B'teach B'Hashem, Chesed Yisei V'Vavna. This is a Chiddush Otzim from the Baal Shem that the Chazon Ish cannot comprehend. Chazon Ish can't comprehend it. But Chazon Ish wrote the Sefer called the Munam B'tachim. You know this? The Litvish know this?
What did you say?
Taina is a psataina. I tell you, once the Rebbe the Lav Shem wants Chaz, the psavot from Chazon Ish, says, Epus HaChazon Ish. Epus HaChazon Ish. Epus HaChazon Ish. You know, that's what he said. Epus HaChazon Ish. So, no, because the Psaid.
Oh, it's just a mention.
No, because after his nifter, I'll tell you the Meiser, is either Biel Khan. You know Biel?
What is it?
Yeah. So Biel has a father. He's a Chassidish Yid, a very simple Yid. And if I bring after the Chazon Ish nifter night, so it was a big deal. And he said that he didn't learn Chassidus. Chazon Ish didn't learn Chassidus. He was not Mekushah to Teres Hashem. And he says, now that he's in Gan Eden, a Bensach, that he's jealous of even a little child that's connected with the Teres Chassidus. This is what the And the Rebbe chazed this word and said, and there's so going there's a sturm. How could you say that Chazonish? And Epis Chazonish had gesagt, Epis Chazonish. That the Chazonish Steiner is a betach. What's there's a Muna? A Muna means you believe in Hashem. Betach means you believe that whatever Hashem does is for the good. Trust that this is good. That's not what the Torah of Hashem. That's the Torah of Chassidus says. The Torah of Hashem is that if you're going to trust in the Eibishter, Chesed Yisei Vivenu. If you're going to trust really that the Eibishter is Savinu Over Rachamon, Teva Tov Leitiv, the Eibishter is going to show you Chesadim. Doesn't mean that you're always going to see the Chesadim and what you got to understand of Chesadim, but you have to trust. You have to trust that Ahafti Eschem Amar Hashem. And Hashem really, 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 really wants our best. This is the B'tachon. Even if we don't see it. Even if it's fine. But we have to be B'tach Hashem. This is the nitzutz that Klal Yisrael survived. Understand? This is what we survived by. Why do we survive? Because we never gave up hope. We always believed that there was a possibility to create something. You didn't have this crazy meshugana koyach that no matter what happens to us, we always get up. We come off a door. We always get up because we believe that the Eibush is a chastam, the Eibush is a rachman, and we have to build and create and always be further and more. This is what the Eibush wants from us. We have to be a beiteach b'Hashem. We have to be a beiteach b'Hashem achtatam. In the Golos, Anoichi has to ask it just the recognition that is the Anoichi. Okay, the Astar is the Astar. But the Baal Shem HaKadosh writes that if you recognize the Aleph, the Anoichi and the Astar, that in itself is already good. That in itself, just to recognize I'm not alone. It's not a game that I'm playing. I have these problems, these issues. The Eibush is with me. The Baal Shem once told the Maggid that Torah Chassidus, it wasn't Mamish Torah Chassidus, Torah that he was trying to reveal is a Yid is just out. A Yid is nicht alone. A Yid is never alone. This is what the whole Torah of Baal Shem is. A Yid is never, there's no such thing as alone. I'm alone. I'm not alone. I'm always with Hashem. The biggest force in the world is with me and guiding me and helping me and trying to get me through this. This is the order. In the moment, in the Hester. The Hester doesn't necessarily come non-Hester. This is why you build bonfires on Boimer. You know you build bonfires? Because a bonfire goes back to the original idea of the oil that was Nivra, the oil Agonus, which is connected to Primis HaTorah. The oil Shem Eka. You know, when Moshe Rabbeinu was by the map, by the snare, says Surah of Era Mara Vasne Eina Ukol. Says in Sforim, Vasne Eina Ukol Pshat is like this. And so Rashi brings down that Vasne Eina Ukol means that Ima Noicha B'Tzorah. So Rashi says, so a Pelnik Rashi. The Eibush is coming to Goyal Yisrael. And he comes to Moshe Rabbeinu, who's Megala in the snare, reveals in the snare. And what does he tell him? By the way, there's going to be another Golas. I'm trying to get out of Golas. You telling me there's going to be another Golas? Pshat is, the Eibush is Megala in the snare. The Medrash says that Dafka in the snare, because that's Mokim at Tzimtzum. That's the only Lashon of the only Mokim for Tzimtzum of Dari is in this Medrash. In snare. The Eibush is Mitzamtzum Oirei V'asnare. What's the snare? The oil doesn't cancel the snare. Snare doesn't become no snare. The snare is a snare, and the fire is a fire, and they exist simultaneously. You understand? Not that the oil breaks the snare. The Eibush just says, "Anoichi b'tzara." This taka tzara. This taka golus. But I'm with you. Bitchu b'Hashem. There's going to be a golus, and you're going to have snare, and it's going to be thorny, and it's going to be complicated. But that's the oil. That's the oil of Torah Chassidus. That's the oil of Primis HaTorah. I know that you're with me. Doesn't mean that it gets better. It's just I'm with you. We're going through this together. And when I know it goes together, everything just relaxes. Okay? Hati Modi, the Shechin is with me. I know. Shechita Taki Begalusa, and it's going through the hardships, and it's with me. The Abishter is with me. It's not. Don't think. You know, there's a Chassidish Oizdruk. It says the main is an einzige Zacher in Moscow. I don't understand. You think you're the only male in Moscow, but maybe the einzige Zacher in Montevideo. Everyone thinks like my tzaras. If you would know my Yetzirah, what do people say? My Yetzirah, my problems. What's to say, Steve? You would be me, and you would be when I travel, when I go. Oh, I'm Yetzirah like no one had since the beginning of Bria. Hashem knows you. Relax. Take it easy, Tiger. Everyone knows you. Hashem knows you. He knows your sorrows. He knows your struggles. I'm with you. He's seen a few things. He's done this before. He's been around. There were bigger people, interesting more people. Yeah, don't worry. Auschwitz. You're not teaching him anything. Don't think, ich bin die einzige Sache. Nicht die einzige Sache. In Moskau. Das ist die russische sagen in Moskau. Die polnische sagen in Krokke. In Krokke. Und Mitschkolz. Montebello. Die einzige Sache in Montebello. The bishop says, I got it. I know your story. I know. I'm with you. We're going to go on the journey together. We're going to do this together. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. I'm close to you. This is the Soid of Shimon, Sham Oven, the Soid of Maltov Nafshay, the Soid of Rashbid, the Shevet Shimon, the Soid of the secret of knowing. It's even the Makam HaSveikus. Even the Makam, the Ishbid said, even the Makam HaSveikus, Sham Oven, even the place of the Oven, the Dinah, the complicated. Shimon married Dinah. This is very complicated. No. The base Aaron Zelichov, Talmud of the Magid, Talmud of the Yeshiva, Talmud of the Alter Rebbe says, Sham Oven, over there, I'm there. Sham, I'm there. That's Shimon. Asher Sham, I'm there. I know. Let's go together. We're gonna get through this. That's the Pneulikin. The Iker is the Kelchoy. We have to struggle to fight for the Kelchoy. We need a living relationship with the Hashem. Nothing stale. What you knew about Hashem yesterday is over. Today is a new day. Today is a new God. Who's the Abishah to you today? Lekel Choy. It should be a living experience. And when you have a chaver, you should be Kovil Chavercha. What's Kovil Chavercha? I recognize the newness, the ischachus of your bria, the doyers called koitz. Ich kenne Hashem. I remember this guy in Yeshiva. You remember this guy in Yeshiva? This guy. Remember this guy in Yeshiva? Oh, that's what in South Fallsburg. Oh, that's I remember you. This guy never made it. With the mole, the ganze Talmud Chacham. Nah, he's faking it. The ganze Hamburg, the ganze Chassidish. God, cut it out. I know you already. Comes that's the oil of Shimon. We should live with every moment like don't make masechas. Don't make any masks. This guy is this. This guy is this. This guy is this. There's a word. There's a in the Chayzer. The Chayzer brings down. It says that he writes that someone came to him. A Talmud came. He brings down over there that someone came to him, a chassid came to him and gave him a list of things that every morning he gets this and he does that and he does this and he thought the chassid was going to pat him on the back and say, Your mama's a tzaddik agdor. And says the chassid looked at the tzaddik and says, Upa'amim lahepach. Upa'amim lahepach. You have to be fresh. Sometimes you have to do it different. You understand? There's a word also from the Chayz that says, the einzige klal in avodas Hashem is shtaking kololim. You understand? The einzige klal in avodas Hashem is shakik klalim. The only principle serving Hashem is there's no principles. Every moment you have to be alive. What is the world? What does the Eibusha demand of you right now? Be alive. Be awake. Be present. No, that's a whole other secret. The Eibusha should help with Lakel Choy. We should get through the Hastaras to really be connected to the Kel Choy. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Rebbe is doing the Rebbe.
אפילו באסטורה.
אפילו באסטורה. Zijn zu dir. Okay, das geht tegen. Rebbe. Kasche zijn zu dir. I gotta go. Rebbe. Where's Levi? Levi comes, then you can leave.
His phone.
Oh. Pull it. You have 11% left.
Let's see when we get to
So Adam called. Adam Newman.
He's very excited. He was in the desert.
I know.
Or something. He had a bonfire too. I think he liked this better though. He started dancing.
His wife was there. Rebecca was there.
I didn't see only him.
We're gonna go to summer with him. You know that.
Yeah, okay.
Never